Hi guys, my name is Patrick, but you can call me 26, and what we're going to do today is we're going to make a floating action button, an animated floating action button, right? This is what it looks like. Let me just run it, give it a second, and this is what it looks like, right? So this is what it looks like, and when you hit it, disappears, hit it, disappears. A bit of animation, it's good. You can include it in your apps, like if you're creating a messaging app, you could hit this, add a map, add a video or an image, right? So this is what it looks like, right? So that's what you're going to build in this video. Stay tuned and let's get into it. Let's get to it, right? So the first thing we need to do is we would need to create the button where we're going to have our symbols. So we could come here, hit Command N. You could put it separate. I'm going to put it right here. And this is just going to be, what's it called? It's just going to be a button. And for now, with an image on it, right? So we're just going to pass in the name of the SF symbol. So I'm going to call it creatively symbol button, or whatever you want to call it. That's how you call it, right? So we have a symbol button like so. Maybe move it up here like so. So that's going to be it. And what we're going to do here is we're going to pass in two things, right? We're going to pass in the symbol name. Let symbol name like so, and this is going to be of type string. And we don't really want our button to do anything, but we want a one of them is going to do something, right? So we want to have access to the closure. So we could just say let action, and action is just going to be that, and we come here and we say void, like so, right? Now we can put our button in place by coming here, and this is just going to be button, like so, and the action question, action is going to be the action, like so, and we're going to come here. And this is going to be, for now, the image is going to be system name, and this is just going to be symbol name, right? Like so. And that is going to be that. And for now, we could hit this, right? Fix, and this is going to be, for now, we're just going to say heart or something like so. Come here and hit this, and we're just going to come here and we put some braces, right? Come here, do this, do that, right? Now we're going to get our button. It's going to take a bit of time, right? Yeah, so we have our heart, tiny, inconspicuous, does nothing. Currently, it doesn't look particularly good. So what we could do, because we have a number of buttons, we could create a button style and then apply them to all of them, right? Because it's only going to be accessed here, I'm going to put it right here. So we're just going to come in and we say struct, and this is going to be called custom style, or whatever you want to call it as you see fit, and this is going to conform to the button style, right? So we have button style like so, and we need the make body. So we come here and say make body. I already have a video looking at button style, so you could have a look at that. And here we're just going to have the configuration, and we're going to say the label. Then we come here and we're going to say dot font, and this is going to be dot title, like so. Then after that, we're going to have the background. The background here, we're just going to have color dot purple, like so, and we're going to have the opacity, and the opacity is going to be dependent on whether it's being pressed. So we say configuration dot is pressed to create that nice effect, right? And this is going to be either it's going to be 0.4, else it's going to be fully clear, right? And then we're going to have the foreground style dot foreground style dot foreground style, like so, and this is going to be dot white, right? So we have that. And what we could do furthermore, instead of making title, let's make it a bit larger by saying large title, right? So we have that, and this doesn't really show it in all its glory. So let's say heart.fill. Yeah, so heart.fill, or is there heart.circle.fill, right? Let's just come here and we say heart.circle.fill. Yes, there is, right? Heart.circle.fill. Let's come in and we say heart.circle.fill. So we have that, and we have our button, and it's not yet applied, right? So that's why it doesn't look like this. So in order to apply it, what we need to do is we need to come back here, and you could simplify the modifier a bit even more, but I'm just going to say add button style, and the custom style we want is going to be the custom style, like so, right? So our button is going to look like that. And oh, it's not round, so we're not adding the clip shape, right? So that is the problem. So we need to sort out the clip shape. So we come here and we say dot clip shape, like so, and the clip shape in question is going to be the circle, right? So we say circle. So we have that clip shape, and our button is as it should be, right? And for the action right now, this one is just, since it's just for show, we don't have anything, right? Now what you're going to do is, instead of creating the buttons, since we already have this particular button, what you're going to do is you're going to create all the other buttons that you're going to show, and then you're going to put them in an array, and then you're going to loop over that array and show the button according to its position on the array, right? So if you have two buttons, you're going to have one button to the left and one orthogonally to our current button, right? So it's going to be the left and above, right? If you have three, one is going to be the 45 at the 45-degree angle. So depending on the number of buttons the user wants to show, we're going to show different types of buttons, right? So I found this code online that can help us calculate that. And that's going to be really good if we do it, right? So if you have one button, it's only going to show one, and the others are going to be put on a circular area, right? On where we show the button, right? So because of that, we're going to have an array of buttons, and we could just put them here. We just say var buttons. You could also put them where they're used, right? But I'm going to put them here, and this is just going to be a symbol button, like so. And it's going to, we need a bunch of them, the ones we're going to show. So we're going to start off with 3. We come here and we say symbol button and the symbol name, and here you're going to have a name. We're going to have one with the photo, so you come here and you check the photo. So we come here and we say this is going to be photo .circle.fill. This one is what we want. We copy the name, come here, do this with a string, put it there, right? That's going to be that. Come here, hit this, get the action, and this is going to be, for now it's going to be nothing, right? So we have that, and this should not be a function but an array, right? So this should be an array, right? So we come here, we do that, right? And for the code, we want it to do nothing. These ones are going to do nothing, but you could make them do something, right? So presumably, like if you have, you're building a, what's it called, a messaging app, right? And you want, when the user presses this, you give them the various options. So this is one thing that the button could do, right? So let's do that. And then we come here and we say symbol configuration, symbol button. And here the symbol name is going to be, let's have a look at what that would be. We come here and we say we want the, in particular, we want the video dot circle dot fill, right? So come here, copy name, like so. This is going to be that. And for our action, we want nothing, like so. So we do that, and remember this is an array, so we need to put a comma to separate the elements, put another comma here, come have another symbol button, and this is going to be a symbol name, and this one is going to be, we need a map, right? Or you could put a globe, whichever communicates a map. The map here doesn't look sufficiently mappy to me, so you could put something that you think communicates that, right? Communicates it being a map. So maybe a globe, or something like so, something of the sort, right? So we do this, and now we have our 3. We have our array where we're going to loop through, right? So the next thing would be to put in the actual menu that you're going to show, right? So the view that you're going to show here, right? So let's create that, and for that, let's just come here and we say command N. This is going to be a Swiftui view, and it's going to be called fab menu, right? Fab menu, like so. And we're just going to hit create, right? So we come here, and for our fab menu, what we're going to have is we're going to have at state. Come here and say at state, like so, and this is going to be private var, like so, and this is going to be is expanded, and this is going to be false. So this is when you press it, what it's going to show, right? And we're going to come here, get rid of this, right? And then after that, we need a bunch of things. We need to say when it's closed, what it's going to be, the symbol that it's going to be. Oh, we don't really need that. We need, the 3 things we need is going to be the direction and the range, right? So we come in to say var direction, and direction is just going to be, this is used to calculate the animations and whatnot, where to put the button exactly, right? This is going to be 315, 315, right? And then we say var, this is, the range is going to be the starting position. So the first one is going to be 90 degrees to our particular button, right? So come here, say degrees, this is going to be 90, like so, right? And then after that, we could have a Z stack, right? Let's come here, and here we're going to say this is going to be z stack, like so. Z stack, come here, and we're going to have the symbol button, right? Symbol button, and here the symbol name is going to be dependent on is expanded, right? Now, if it is expanded, we're going to say this is going to be if it's expanded, this is going to be plus dot circle, right? Or it's going to be, let's just make sure we get the correct one. Come here, this is SF symbols, right? This is going to be x mark dot circle dot fill, this one, right? So it depends on whether you've pressed it or not. So come here, do that. And the action here, it's going to be toggle, right? So we're going to say here is expanded dot toggle. So if it's true, false, if it's false, true, right? So do that, right? That's going to be it. So this is false, right? So if this is true, it will switch. You will see it, right? True. So this is going to be, okay, that's it. So plus dot circle, let's say plus dot circle dot fill. Let's see what that looks like, right? So that looks like that, and okay, fine, right? So this is supposed to be false. Okay, so that is done, and we loop through our buttons, and now we have access to our array. So we come here and we say for each, like so, and we need a sequence. We come here and we say 0, 2, and this is going to be, what did we call them? We call them buttons. Buttons dot count, like so, and give it an ID. Come here and say that is going to be dot self, right? Come here, like so, and this is going to be I in, and for each button, what we want, or let's create the function that is going to add the offset first, right? So what this is going to do, let's just come here and say func, this is going to be offset, like so, and this is going to be index. The index is going to be an integer, so, and this is going to return core graphic size, like so, right? And here we're going to have a distance. So we say distance, and distance is going to be 80. Then we're going to say we're going to check if it's expanded. Guard dot is expanded, else. So this only comes into effect when we have pressed the button, right? If you have not pressed the button, dot 0, right? Okay, not 0, but 0. Spell it out, right? Rather, right? And then you're going to say let button angle, and button angle is just going to be our range dot radians, like so, and we divide it by double. And what do we want to divide it by? It's going to be buttons count, the number of buttons dot count minus 1, like so, minus 1, right? And then we say that our angle, and our angle is just going to be button angle multiplied by double, and this is going to be index, like so, and then we say let final angle, and final angle is just going to be our final angle is just going to be direction minus the range divided by 2 plus angle, and we want it in radians. This is going to be that, right? And then we have the width, and we say let width, and width is just going to be cosine, like so, and this is going to be final angle dot radians, and to it we subtract dot pi over 2, and we multiply this by the distance, right? Come here and say distance, like so, right? And after that we need why is this complaining? Let's see. Okay. Direction, distance, put a 0.0, or explicitly tell it that this is actually not an integer, right? So explicitly tell it by putting a 0.0, or tell it, or because it can't infer, right? So it's inferring the wrong thing. Rather, it can infer, but it's just inferring the wrong thing. The next thing we could do is we could just copy this and hit Command D. Let's just come here and we say this is going to be height. Come here, make this the height, like so. This is going to be the sign. This is going to be the sign, like so, and we do that and we multiply it by distance. And at the end of this, what we need to do is, it's complaining that we're not returning a core graphic size, so we do CG size, and the width is going to be, we have a handy width here, and the height is going to be the height. Right now we have all the things that are going to do mathematics for us, and now we could possibly put it to good use here. Right, so what you're going to do is next is we loop through all the buttons, and we're just going to come here and we say buttons, get the index, right, and the offset is going to be offset, and the index is going to be I, like so. Right, so that's going to be that. And here we say, instead of true false, we say true here. Right, if we say true, like so, that's going to be, this is what it looks like. Right, so this is what they are calculated. And if you want, you could come to symbol button here and get rid of one of them, right, or comment it out rather, and then come back here. Oh, where is it? I think it's here. Right, so if we come back here and, oh no, it's here actually. So you see, now we have 2, right? So it calculates based on the number that you have in your array of buttons that you want to show in your array. Right, come back here, make one. It's going to be 90 degrees from come back here, and we're going to have this. Right, so you're just going to have wait, let's come back here to symbol button. Right, so we have that, and we have that, and let's see. Okay, if you have one, that's what it's going to look like. Right, so basically, let's say true. Right, let's come in and say true. Right, so that's what our buttons would look like. And let's come here, do this, and that's going to be that. Right, so now we have done a lot of the heavy lifting. Of course, we've done a lot of the heavy lifting. That's what our buttons are going to look like. Right, and what we would need is, just for effect, let's add the opacity, and we come here and we say dot opacity, and the opacity is going to be dependent on is expanded. Right, so based on that, the opacity is either going to be full opacity or not. Right, then after that, we need to add some animation, so we say animation, like so, and the animation in question, we could just spell it out here. We could say this is going to be animation dot default. Right, and it needs access to a value, and the value is going to be is expanded. Right, so come here, say is expanded. Right, so that just can monitor the value. Right, so that's going to be that. And now remember, because we say we toggle the is expanded when it's pressed, this is what you do that, that's what it looks like. It changes to X. That's what it looks like. It changes to X. So we have basically everything we need. Right, all we need now is just show it on the main view, and that is not particularly difficult. In fact, you should try it out and see how that happens. Right, so what we do is we come to our content view, and this is what it looks like. We could get rid of the padding, come here, ditch this, have a Z stack, like so, and in the Z stack, put a color, and the color is going to be dot black. It's going to fill everywhere except the safe areas. Tell it to ignore the safe area. So you come here and you say ignore safe area, like so, have it all black, or you could spell it out, like you could say something like, let's just collapse this. Right, this is going to be edges, and then you say dot all if you want. Right, so edges, and then top, bottom, or however you want to put it. Right, and then after this, we have our FAB menu, right, like so, and we could pass in an animation. Come here, say animation, or let's go back. Where is it? Let's go back. Let's put one thing we could do, instead of having default animation, we could say here, we could say the animation here is going to be dot interpolating spring, like so. interpolating spring, and here we're just going to have a spring, and we want a response and a damping, right? Our response is going to be 0.4. The damping ratio is going to be 0.5, right? So that is going to be the case, and it's telling us to make this alert, right? So we do that, then we come back. Where do we? Here on the content menu, right? So we have this, and so it has that springy. Now we're adding the springiness, right? So that's what the springiness looks like, and that's basically it, right? Of course, we need to move it to the bottom left corner. How do we do that? Well, that's pretty straightforward. We come to our Z stack, and why do we have a V stack on a Z stack? Let's just get rid of the V stack, and then get rid of one of these. Now we just have a Z stack. That's okay. Come here, and we're going to have an alignment. The alignment is going to be dot bottom trailing, right? Bottom trailing, like so. And it's too close to the corner, so what we could do is we could maybe give it a bit of padding and tell it exactly where we want to give the padding to. There are several ways you could do this. I'm thinking what would be the best way to do it? Okay, let's just come here and say dot padding, and this is going to be dot trailing, right? So it moves, right? So okay, that's it, right? If you want to give it more, maybe let's say 16. Okay, so that's exactly how we would build this, right? So it's a great effect creating that. And then of course, if you want, right now, all you need to do in this case is, if you wanted to do something, right, you could come in and say something like, for the first one, print, and what do you want to print? You want to print photo, right? Photo, and we could just copy this. Let's copy this, come here, copy this, come here, paste this, come here. This is going to be photo, this is going to be video, and the final one is going to be map, right? So you can make them do whatever you want, right? Now, so let's just, let's run and see it on a device, right? We could do it and see it on a device, and that would be better, I guess. Basically make sure that it is as it should be. It's taking forever, right? So we see that, and we get that, and we get that, and if we press this, we get map, we get video, and the last one is photo. So it's working exactly as we want it to. That's how you would make an animated floating action button.